As we slaves look into these devices, the devices turn around and are spying on us. I reported on this a couple of weeks ago with this NBC clip.
Yo, this needs to be spread like wildfire. Contact tracing is already taking place. You don't need some stupid app. You don't need to opt in or opt out. Listen to this. Listen to what I just found. This is today. This is normal mainstream media trying to scare people from opening back up or whatever. But listen to what this guy says.
In coronavirus cases,
when we take a step forward, we don't want to take 2 steps back.
as states like California prepare to enter their 7th week in lockdown, new research tracking cell phone movements shows a national decline of Americans keeping their social distance.
Of course, you've got most of the country in denial. You got the one half, the liberals, who are begging for us to be spied on. And then you have the other half, the conservatives, pretending like Donald Trump is somehow going to save us from this. And trust me, there's a lot of that going on lately. I was roaming Twitter and I walked away very depressed. So many people in flat out denial about Trump's true motives. Well, what about this clip? This was from yesterday.
Encouraging to see that America's reopening alongside that, with home-based data from Homebase noting that 2/3 of America's small businesses are opening. An Open Table study said Americans are now starting to dine out again. Another home-based study, 67% of local food and drink businesses are open. Apple is saying Americans are driving and walking at near normal levels. And Google mobility data reflects the same. So it's encouraging to see America start to reopen. And
Isn't it nice that the White House press secretary just nonchalantly says, yeah, Apple and Google are spying on us. Of course, yet the liberal media is not going to say anything. They want this. And the conservative media are going to go right along with it because Trump's press secretary said it. If it was a liberal, then that'd be another story.
And Apple is saying Americans are driving and walking at near normal levels. And Google mobility data reflects the same.
They nonchalantly report that Google and Apple are spying on us. They speak out of the other side of their mouth and say that the contact tracing app just isn't working properly because Google and Apple, out of respect for our privacy, won't cooperate and share our data. Don't believe me? Listen to this.
Well, and Google announced a joint effort to launch a coronavirus tracing app aimed at tracking the spread of COVID-19 across the country. Using smartphone and Bluetooth technology, the app was promised to alert users if they'd come in contact with someone infected with the deadly virus. But now, as more details emerge about the software, health officials say it will provide little aid in the battle against COVID-19. CNET senior producer Dan Patterson joins us now. So Dan, what's really the new information that's been revealed about this contract tracing app? Why are health officials really so skeptical of it?
Well, Rena, you can imagine how this particular standoff kind of illustrates the balance, the delicate balance between public safety on the one hand and public privacy on the other hand. So you can imagine how useful contact tracing data might be to local, state, and even federal officials. But on the other hand, it doesn't take a lot of creativity to imagine how this personal health data might be misused. So while there are dozens of requests from various health agencies for data, Apple and Google have claimed that they are pretty reticent to share all of this data because they want to protect the privacy of their users.
So initially, the point of this joint venture was really to track and trace COVID-19, people infected with COVID-19, and really where the infections had possibly taken place. Why is it, though, that Apple and Google won't share this information with health officials?
Yeah, well, so these companies have to effectively create policy every time they make decisions about privacy. And so on the one hand, they have indicated to us off record or at least on background in conversations that they do want to be as helpful as possible. But on the other hand, they have to protect the privacy and safety of their users. And all of these big tech companies, or most of them, have come under attack recently for privacy failings. So they are extra sensitive to being helpful on the one hand, but also...
Do you people realize how stupid they think that you are?
Do you understand what they're doing here? The media's setting, for lack of a better term, they're setting an Overton window as far as contact tracing goes. Now they're all saying we've got some really bad news, guys. As good as contact tracing was supposed to be, Apple and Google just won't participate because they're trying to protect our data, our privacy. So what are they trying to do? They are trying to convince people, persuade people into demanding that Google and Apple give the health authorities the data that they need to prevent the spread of coronavirus. They really do think that you're stupid. They really do.